Hey there everyone, it's AJ and I am... What do you mean? It's been 8 months since my last video. Let me have a quick look, one moment. Oh, it has. I think this calls for something a little more. Stand back, please.
Finally, AJ has come back to YouTube. And I tell you what, it's been a long 8 months. That's right, 8 months since my last video. I can't believe it. So long, so much has happened in 8 months. But let me tell you, from now on, AJ is going to post videos and stream. That's right. Let that sink in, you jabroni. AJ is going to stream like nobody has streamed before, and that is going to happen right here on YouTube. Now let's get on with the rest of the video in a voice that doesn't kill AJ's throat. If you smell what AJ is creating.
Well, it's been a long time since my last video. A lot has happened though, and it's been a difficult 6 months or so, but I'm looking to come back. I'm going to take things a little easier at first, and because I want to ease myself into doing videos again, and I plan to incorporate my Instagram into this as well. So, how am I going to do this, I hear you say? Sorry, what do you mean nobody said that? Oh, right, I'm here on my own. Okay, back on track. I intend to keep things relatively simple. I've managed to get a decent setup on my studio now, which will allow me to do more recordings of the art I do. Not only that, I've managed to make a makeshift green screen, which will mean, drum roll please, I also plan on doing some live streams. I've thought about this and I've been considering where to do these, either via YouTube or Twitch, and I've opted to put my time and energy more into the YouTube side of things, as I can post videos and also do live streams on the same platform. So it kind of just makes a bit more sense really. I've not set on a schedule, and I intend to do some test live streams over the course of the next couple of weeks. So if you're watching this and haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so that you can get emails and push notifications and those little annoying sounds that you let you know that when I'm streaming. Also, tell your friends. I bet they're wondering... Oh shoot, I'm talking away again from the mic. I bet you're wondering what you can expect from my channel and Instagram, right? Good. I'm just going to write a list and post it here on the screen so you can have a look. Oh, that list was a bit too small, wasn't it? Let's try again. Nope, too big. That won't do either. Here. Perfect. Just right. So I'm going to have on my YouTube channel a more thoughtful sort of this type of video basically, where I talk over my drawing. That's kind of the best way to describe it really. And live streams, which are going to be about 1 to 4 hours of pure creation fun, where you can join along as well and get in on some of the action there. And I may even do some little giveaways as well. And then on my Instagram, I'm going to be doing speedy sketches, which are sped up videos of my sketching with a bit of music on the top of them, and also speedy paint ups, which are sped up videos of my inking and colour work, which kind of says it already on the title, doesn't it really? But yeah, let's move on to the next bit. So the aim is to do at least one or the other type of video each week for each platform. So either I'll do a live stream, or I will do a thoughtful on my YouTube channel, and that will coincide with also an Instagram speedy sketch or a speedy paint up, depending on what I'm working on at the particular time. I do a lot of sketching anyway, so it'll probably be more sketchy stuff initially anyway, because colouring and things like that can take a lot longer to do. and I am just going to scroll up on my script here, and basically I'm just reading this out to you guys because it's going to be so much more easier than doing that. And that's me giving away the tricks of the trade. There we go. So you've been gone for 8 months. What have you been up to? Oh, you heard that too, right? Of course you did. That's good. I don't want to be looking as though I'm going insane a little bit, you know, being all on this social distancing malarkey and stuff. Yeah, so what have I been up to? Well, I've been doing a number of things, really. I've been looking to keep active on my Instagram page, and I have seen it grow considerably over the past couple of months. So I'd like to thank anyone who has gone over and followed me. I did have a bit of a clean up of it too, and I had some pretty poor quality photos of my work, and that's something I've been working on because I've now got a decent scanner. I've actually got an A3 printer as well, which is really good. It's like one of the best things I've ever invested in, really. It just means that when I do bigger pieces on A3, which I like to do, I like to have a big piece of A3, which is actually what I'm doing on this illustration as we speak. I'm using A3, and it just gives you so much more open space to be able to be more flowy, and I can do things in the corner which I can just crop out at any time, whereas on A4 it's a little bit more tricky to do that. So yeah, anyway, that's going off on a tangent. And yeah, so also, if you haven't already gone and checked out my Instagram, you totally should. I post regularly on there. I post regular stories, which is what everybody should do if they've got an Instagram. Post regular stories and posts. I try and post a couple of times a week. Sometimes it's just one time a week. Just it depends on what I've actually managed to get done. If I'm doing more sketches, because I don't really like to tend to post sketches on my Instagram, I have to post it with a finished thing. And if I've not finished a thing in 2 weeks, then it doesn't work. But yes, so that is that for my Instagram. So yeah, it's a good job for my Instagram. Otherwise, everyone might have thought I'd gone into the void or something like that. You totally said that to segue into the next part, didn't you? I totally did what, I hear you say? Could I be talking about... Well, it's the void, of course. The void that fills my heart because of all the stories and character journeys I've got started and have yet to finish. That, and the fact that I'm looking to this next decade, which happens to coincide with my 30s. Okay. Well, this bit is a bit more about what I'm going to be doing in the future, really. Sort of planning the next decade and sort of thing, which is kind of what you kind of, after you get to a certain age, you kind of end up start planning things in decades rather than 5 years or even 1 year. Kind of just have a bigger picture on how you want to do it. So, what am I going to be doing over the course of the next 10 years? Because yes, trigger, a decade is 10 years.
I wouldn't go that far.
I plan on releasing a series of short stories and light novels in a universe that is held together by the void. There will be more to come on that in future videos, and I hope that everyone will support me to achieve my goal and create this world and world domination, that sort of... No, not world domination. That is so cliche, isn't it? Okay, never mind. Well, I've been honing my skills, and that is what I've been doing whilst I've been away from YouTube. I've been honing my skills and working on things like anatomy and various other things. I wanted to do a bit of colour study as well, and I've really sort of had a bit of a focus on that. I've been following a lot of art tutorials like from Ross Draws, Mark Crilly, Learn to Draw Manga, that sort of side of things as well, and I'm really looking forward to showing what I've learned over the course of the past few months. I've been delving into, as I say, anatomy and world building, and I feel as though I'm very close on the mark to this now. So now finally is the time and part of the video. Now give me a little bit of butterflies, I'm not going to lie. I need your support. Now, I always will appreciate people that will share and like and follow me on my Instagram, and that is always a great way to support me, regardless of any sort of finances and things like that. However, it would be really appreciated if you could also head over to my Patreon, even if you just follow it to have like some of the free updates. But I have got some pledge options available on my Patreon as well. And this is to help me with the costs involved in getting things published and that sort of thing. I've published 3 novels myself, as you are aware, the Collision of Worlds series. And for that, I put in a bit of money for the editing side of things. And it would just really help if there was just that sort of extra cushion for me to be able to finance it. And also some of the perks that I have got on my Patreon include things like when I release a book, you will get a copy of said book. I'll also be sending you copies of art, doing insight to my mind. That's probably not a really good place to go, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, no, it's just a crazy place in there sometimes. I've got about 3 or 4 different universes going on at once. One of those including the real world one. But yeah, let's move on. So I really do hope you'd consider supporting me. I feel as though the packages that I have on offer are a great value for money, and you can get some great perks from being a Patreon. And I'm going to leave this video here for now, or at least me talking about various things, and I'm just going to let you enjoy the art process, as I think there's about, I don't know, 5 or so minutes more. So what I'll do is, the next part, I will just go through what I did to create this particular piece, and I hope you enjoy. And just remember to think, pack and be creative, which is my mantra for this year. Thank you. This illustration was a lot of fun to work on, and I'd like to go a bit through the process on how I came about making it. Obviously you saw it and are seeing it on this particular video, but I think it'd be nice to explain some of the decisions and things that I made with that. Now, first of all, these 2 characters are from what's going to be a light novel series in my Void sort of universe, where one is called Ayasomi Tsuchi, and the other one is the Angel of Death, also known as Oral. I'm not quite sure how I pronounce the name Oral just yet. It's like Orele, so Orally or something like that anyway. But these are 2 of the main characters in that particular story, and I'm really happy with their sort of development and how they have come about. Now, these 2 are quite integral to the story, and they are together a lot of the time as well, so it's something that's really quite an interesting story to follow. And I'm hoping that once I do get round to publishing the novels, you will enjoy the story as well. So let's get on and talk a little bit about the process of making this actual piece. Initially I sketched it. I didn't include the sketch on this particular video because I did place the sketch on my Instagram page, which you can go and check out, and I'll post a link to that in the description as well. But I initially sketched it. I was originally going to only do the 1 character, but then it kind of evolved, and I ended up doing the 2 characters in these sort of like poses, which kind of depict their sort of energy. Anyway, Ayasomi is more of a sort of fighter, and she will go and defend the Angel of Death. And the Angel of Death is a sort of stoic-y type character who doesn't show that much emotion, whereas Ayasomi does show more emotion, which is kind of what I'm wanting to depict here in this particular piece. When it came to the colours, now the Angel of Death is kind of wears a sort of Victorian style dress, and that was kind of how I always saw her, as that sort of character. It's her preferred type of dress, seeing as she's lived across the span of many generations and many millennia in the lore of this particular series. So she is she has picked out this particular style as her favourite for that. Plus I just really like the aesthetic, and I quite like it. I think I could have done a bit better with her dress, but I am still quite happy with the result. Now, for this, Ayasomi is more of the sort of, I don't really want to say showpiece, but she is a bit more flashy. She doesn't mind being seen as much, even though when she's actually in her normal sort of battle gear, she is more of a sort of ninja style thing. So when this is sort of like more her, I'm a relaxed sort of thing. Although at this particular moment she is in quite an actiony sort of pose there. But I don't know, maybe something's happening and she's had to engage in a battle while she was meant to be, I don't know, on a date with the Angel of Death or something like that. Yeah, so that's sort of like where it's going with that. Now, the colours that I chose, when I did this, I was sort of like experimenting, and it was a lot of experimentation, and I haven't really thought of it that much until I started putting things down onto the paper and stuff. Now, I decided that I was going to wanted to do it as a sort of scrolly type thing, almost as though you could have picked this up and see it as an illustration on some sort of scroll or something. That's why I did the initial wash with the I think it's sienna ink that I did across the entire thing. Now, I wish I kind of just left that as light as possible initially and then worked on the characters' colours, but I didn't, so I've kind of got stuck with the way I did that now. I just think that I could have made the characters pop out a little bit more had I held back doing the sort of additional stuff on the background there. Now, the colours for Ayasomi's kimono, which I absolutely adore, I've got like this sort of purpley ink colour, and I used greys and things to sort of like build out the tone, and then applied that purpley colour onto there, and it just kind of bloomed and made it. It's kind of like a purpley pinky colour. I'm not really sure what it is, but it kind of like made it feel as though it was sort of like cherry blossoms, which I absolutely loved. And I got the sort of added a bit of the brownie colour that I had in the background onto there as well, and it kind of just made it a bit earthy and things. And also the skin tones that I managed to get worked quite well too. Once I'd got the sort of base colour down, I was then really looking for how can I add a bit more dimension to this, how can I make it pop and really stand out. And that's where I took to my pencil crayons, which are the Prismacolors. And I only selected a few different colours for this, but the colours that I did choose, I just feel as though they were really worked well and managed to make the brighter colours pop out. Black is always a difficult colour for me to do, so I'm still working on that, and I perhaps maybe might have done something a little bit different. I'm not sure what I would have done, but the colours that I've chosen for the Angel of Death as well are quite sort of, well, they're just black. But I did tie in her scythe by having like sort of ribbon tied around it in a similar colour to Ayasomi's kimono, so that there is a bit of continuity there and a bit of blending. I'm actually really quite happy with the hair of Ayasomi as well. I think the colour that I managed to get is quite a nice deep browny colour, even though I was limited on the sort of inks that I do have, and I just feel as though it was a great colour choice, and I managed to get some pretty good depth there. I just in the end then started layering up the pencil crayons and making sure that everything worked well together, and overall I'm just really happy with the result of this particular piece, and I hope you guys are too. I'm going to probably do a few more like this. This is actually an A3 sized sheet of paper as well, so it's quite a nice sort of decent size for me to be able to get the detail in. I actually quite like the faces, and I managed to work on the eyes a little bit. I almost thought I'd ruin the eyes, but no, I think I did quite well. But I'm going to leave this video here now because I think I've been talking long enough. And what I will say is, until next time, I'll see you later.